Hey everyone, Peter Langer, Director of Client Solutions over here at Fanaptive Solutions. Um, Journey into CPM, the EPM world. I actually started my career as a financial analyst, spent a little bit of time in that world, and then a couple of years in portfolio management before I decided to take a bit of a pivot more into the technology space. I used a little educational break to do that to make that pivot, but yeah, I got launched into into the tech career about 10 years ago by joining up with a well-known company, Vena. And at the time they were a little bit smaller size, so it was a lot of fun to be a part of that growth and see that trajectory from a much earlier stage. So at my time at Vena, originally started on the implementation side. That's usually a good entry point for folks coming from industry, as they have the knowledge, and that's usually their most familiar point of contact. Would be the actual application, or the actual use of the applications, and how they actually solve problems for the business. So it's been about a year on the implementation side before moving into pre-sales. So that's a very fun kind of sometimes niche part of the business, and sometimes maybe not as well known to a lot of folks unless you've been in that world. So where pre-sales really fits in is it's the intersection between we'll say sales and product. But of course we need to talk implementation. We also need to be part of the marketing messaging, and we also try to think strategically along with the growth of the business. So product roadmaps and things like that. So was very fortunate to kind of make a transition into that team. I really enjoyed that transition. As I was mentioning, you get an intersection between a lot of different departments, so you get to see how the business really kind of can come together to solve problems for customers there. Yeah, so it's been about 4 years doing that with Fena. Went as far as to even move out to California for a little while and help expand the offices out there. And then actually took a little break from the finance world after about a decade of talking numbers, balance sheets, cash flows, P&Ls. I decided to take a little step back, pivoted into a couple of other tech firms, still doing solution engineering and pre-sales work, but just kind of took a little bit of a refresher, we'll say, before jumping back in and going back to my true calling, supposedly.
Yeah.
um, I got back into the field, joining the Prophix solution engineering team, and I spent about a year with that organization. They're a direct competitor to Vena, and it's interesting to see how both companies similar size, and at this point, Prophix is a little bit older, but similar-ish tenure. Seeing how they approach things differently. And funny enough, they're actually neighbors geographically, kind of at the scale of the world. So they're both started in the Toronto region. So a little interesting there, but yeah, spent some time there before eventually pivoting into the role in the world that I'm in now, which is on the partner side. So with Fanaptive Solutions, we're a partner to a few different tech vendors. Our primary one being Vena, but we do have partner relationships with multiple tech firms, and it's very fun being on that side. Again, a much smaller team, so very fun to be kind of in an agile spot, being able to implement new ideas and go after new campaigns, as well as getting back to not prospect facing. Well, of course, there's prospect work, but also seeing the implementation, going through that with the clients, and kind of revisiting that, getting really in tune with how things are going, where the rubber meets the road, so to say. Um, so no, that's been a lot of fun, and again, it's been fun to be part of a growing team at Fanaptive. So we've nearly doubled our headcount in the last year, and with ambitions to continue the same. But we're we're not only expanding within the North America region, but actually internationally, which again, small team, a lot of fun, but also means a lot of hours sometimes too.
Yeah, sure.
So that's why we're growing the team. But always exciting, and these are the